Hello and welcome to Elden Ring. I've decided to play through the game once more, and why not just record it? At some point they will drop a brand new DLC that I of course want to play through, and why not just do it while recording, right? So if you don't know me, I like to talk about the game design, so I will do that heavily in this playthrough as well. I'm not going through every single dungeon because that might be boring. I'm not really a fan of these dungeons. I will do some dungeons that I find either fun or beneficial to my build. Maybe I will do some dungeons offline just because I like to complete all this stuff. Maybe you can write in the comments if you want to see that, or if I should just do this off camera, excuse me. And of course, a full playthrough will give me the opportunity to talk about certain game designs that are not really worthy of a single video, because I can't just put so much content in that video, because it's probably just a short video then and wouldn't be worth it, I guess. So let's just start a new game. I have already decided in what direction I want to create my character, so I will actually choose the confessor for that. And by the way, do you find this screen here very strange as well, like the select character base screen? I feel like this is not necessary anymore, because, well, if you choose something here, then you're landing in this screen, and, well, you can change everything that you've chosen before as well. So why not just get rid of this screen over here and, well, throw the player directly into this screen, right? I feel like the select character base screen over here is a remnant from the public tests they've done when the game wasn't out yet, like the server stress test or whatnot, because you could just choose your template and then directly start the game without customizing it. But I'm not really sure. I feel like this is not necessary anymore. It's like doubled everything. So I'm not doing a challenge run here, right? So many people try and do everything like, or try and prove themselves, really, like, I've killed Melania without taking damage, without any weapons and stuff. No, I'm not doing this. I find this extremely boring. I'm not that good at the game. I'm not intending to get that good at the game. I'm trying to break the game, basically. Like, I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for myself without using, well, that many glitches, right? Like, if there is a exploit, like an AI exploit, something like this, I will use it, why not? But nothing like duplication glitch and stuff like that. I'm not using that. But I'm trying to get every opportunity or advantage that I can, right? So usually I don't really like playing as a sorcerer or a faith character, but without any magic in this game, I feel like it's a bit wasted, so I'm doing a hybrid character. Like, I will still focus on, or I will mainly focus on melee weaponry, maybe some range weaponry like bows and stuff, and I will use support magic basically. And I have something in mind. I will use some, in my opinion, really strong weapons, especially in the early and mid game. Maybe also into the late game, I'm not sure. So I will start with the Confessor right now. And of course the Golden Seed, the only, well, one of the only useful things here. I guess the Stone Sword Key is also somewhat useful. If you don't know what they do, they open up certain ways that are blocked by a contraption, like by imp statues, as it says in the text above. Not really useful, in my opinion, because you there are way more stone sword keys in the game than there are locks, basically. So at the end of the day, you will have like 20, 30 stone sword keys that you can't use. It's not like they're rare. Maybe they're rare at the beginning, but not in the end game. Crimson Amber Medallion, not useful at all. Runes, I don't think they're good either. Golden Seed is, in my opinion, the best one. Fanged Imp Ashes, you can get them fairly early on, I think? Can't you get them in the first Hero's Grave? I can't really remember. Crackpot, not really useful as well, in my opinion. Well, you don't have one more, right? There's a certain amount of crackpots in the game, or in the world. And when you choose this one, you're not getting everything that's in the world plus one, but it will take one out of the world. So it's basically you're just starting with one. You don't have more crackpots than players that didn't choose this one. Bewitching Branch, pretty good. Although I don't really know if there's something that you can cheese with them in the early game. Boiled Prawn, also pretty good, but you can buy them later on, so no thank you. Shabriri's Woe, I don't want to make stuff harder for me, so let me use the Golden Seed, name myself Yoshi or Yoshi, I don't know. I pronounce it Yoshi because I'm German. Load a preset that I like to use, and let's just start with the introduction. I'm letting this video, I think, go through right now. I'm not skipping it. It sets the tone, but I'm talking over it. So here you can see America changing soon into Radagon. Right now it's Radagon. Very cool. Tiny detail. One of them, or America, is shattering the Elden Ring, and Radagon is trying to repair it.
In our home, across the fall.
Pretty nice art over here. I'm not sure which is if this is supposed to be Stormvale Castle, because the layout isn't adding up, I think. Not really sure.
Queen Marika the Eternal.
Religious pose over here.
To be found.
Overlaps with real life religion, of course.
The night of the black knives.
Look how deep they drove that knife into his back. If you know how big they are, that's kind of gruesome.
Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards
But
of the Elden Ring.
look how small they look. Of course it's just a picture, but I don't really get this picture over here. It's supposed to be Moog holding Miquella, but I don't get Miquella's anatomy. I don't get Miquella's anatomy at all. I might do a video about these pictures over here, talking about them. Even though it's not really design, but it's more like art and lore. But I really like to talk about them. I would like to talk about them.
Oh, rise now, ye tarnished.
I wonder where that is
ye
here.
dead who yet live.
Some random ass crypt maybe, but it looks pretty big. Like, where is this hall?
Speaks to us all.
And who is that dude getting an orgasm over here?
Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask, Fear, the deathbed companion, the loathsome Dung Eater,
Best character, of course.
And Sir Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing.
Kinda disturbing how many ears there are in his coffin or sarcophagus. I hope they are not real ears like of his followers cutting off their ears to honor him, I guess. I hope that's not the case.
And one other, whom grace would again bless.
And this is something that I don't really like about introductory cutscenes,
Tarnished of
which
no
is
renown.
why I like this introductory cutscene so much. Many criticize that these are basically just images,
The fog,
like still images,
the lands between,
where there's just camera panning. But
to stand
I like it
before
because
the Elden Ring.
right now we have a like rendered cutscene with our
And
character,
become the Elden
and I don't
Lord.
really like if you have a fleshed out cutscene and then it goes back to in-game graphics, and the in-game graphics look so bad in comparison to the cinematic part. So here we are at the beginning. No one knows how we got here because this is a church, and well, did we teleport in here? I don't know. So I'm a bit rusty. And where is the brightness? Yeah, let's crank the brightness up. Ooh, that feels bad. The 60 FPS feel bad. Usually when I do my videos, I of course use a mod. I use the Seamless Scope mod so that I can use Cheat Engine. But of course this is here without Cheat Engine, and in that Cheat Engine I'm unlocking the frame rate. So I'm playing with like more than 60 FPS. And going back to 60 feels really bad. Another reason why I could never play Bloodborne again. At least not on PlayStation. Just because it's like capped at 30 FPS and that feels so bad. So let's have a look at our equipment. Broadsword. Ooh, 100% physical block. Very nice. The Finger Seal and the Confessor armor, which looks badass, to be honest. Not gonna lie, I really like this armor set. I'm not going to fight this Grafted Scion. There's no reason to fight it, I don't need the items. And honestly, I'm not good at fighting Grafted Scions, so let's just die here. No, I'm not skipping. Almost skipped that one. For me, it's always fairly clear that the Scion, I guess, throws us into the water, and then somehow we wake up in this cave. There are some things that I don't get about this cave. This is clearly a cave that has been where the tide goes in. It's pretty wet. And you will see what I mean later on. Because it's close to a beach, right? It must be. We somehow ended up in here, so... Kinda don't get why the fur looks so... at the first frame there.
Don't worry, Torrent.
Right now it's fine, but...
Fortune is on his side. We found him here, after all.
Look at the fur. Not the one on the head, the short hair fur on Torrent. Kinda hard to see right now with the blur
One
effect.
of his kind is sure to seek the Elden Ring.
And we black out again. Unlucky. I hope we don't have a
Does
concussion.
violate the Golden Order.
I wonder how this works, right? Like, you're blacking out all over again. I don't want to be in this state in real life. Can you stand up now, please? Well, technically I could skip this one, right? But yeah, we are in a cave now. What I meant with the fur, it kind of looked like doubled, really. Like laid over it. If you have two textures, or if you have one texture and you duplicate it and lay it over each other, and then just slightly move it to the side, it gives this blur effect. And Torrent's fur, the short fur, not the long hairs, were like had like this weird doubling look to it. Was looking weird, but this is what I mean right now, right? In this cave, there's of course water coming in, but like, wouldn't this part of the cave be completely underwater? So let's just imagine this part is completely underwater, or at least to a certain extent. Like, who then put all these candles in here, really? And these are some game design things that I like. I'm really looking at these things, like stuff that is not possible, or stuff that is unbelievable, I think, like in one sense, like not like, oh, I can't believe it, no, stuff that makes no sense, that's what I mean. Open up. Need to get used to these controls right now. Again. Well, I guess that's fine. I could have just ran out of here, but well, I like to collect everything that I know of, so I have to collect the gesture. This is why I'm going through here. I wish I could just stop caring about these things, but I can't, so let's just go through them. We had a look at the tutorial before. I didn't really went through the tutorial, I was just... Oh, did I? No, I did not. I was sitting at the bonfire, so... Well, technically I could have just went through, but... I didn't feel like it made much sense. New mechanic. I'm really not using this mechanic as much as I probably should. The blocking and then doing the heavy attack, because it's quite useful. But, well, on my first playthrough I like to use it quite much. Quite a lot, I guess. But somehow I forgot about it on my, well, on the next playthroughs. And I also kind of wonder, right, we're in a crypt now, and a hero's grave. We're in a hero's grave now, like, why was this place, like, why is there a staircase here and a door over here? Like, where is this leading to? You can't go anywhere from here, like, why does this part of the cave exist in this shape? Why is there a door here? Why would they build something like this, like the architects in this game? I need to remember what I usually put in here. I don't think I have any items that I like to put in the pouch. I really like the pouch in this, like the addition of the pouch. Well, they had to make room for this, right? So, like on your buttons. And they actually have done it in a way that doesn't feel restrictive at all, or the control scheme doesn't feel overloaded with the addition to the pouch. I really like the... and they added a jumping button, of course. So... over here we have interesting character design, because everything tells you he's not a great guy. Let's talk to him.
Tarnished, are we? Come
The
to
way he
the
rubs his hands together.
Of course you have. no shame in it.
Kinda feels like a
Unfortunately
spineless
for you,
character.
However, you are maidenless, without guidance, without the strength of runes, and without an invitation to the round table hold. You are fated, it seems, to die in obscurity. Luckily for you, however, there is one shining ray of hope for even the maidenless. Me. Vare. Take care to listen. Are you familiar with grace? The golden light that gives life to you tarnished. You may also behold its golden rays, pointing in a particular direction at times. That is the guidance of grace, a path that a tarnished must travel. Indeed. Grace's guidance holds the answers. It will lead you tarnished to the path you are meant to follow, even if it leads you to your grave.
It's still weird that there is not a dialogue option in this game, like,
Grace's
let's keep talking.
guidance will reveal the path forward, most certainly. To Castle Stormvale, over on the cliff, the home of the decrepit demigod, Godric the Drafted. It's time you set off, I should think. To Castle Stormvale, if you seek the Elden Ring.
Alright. So, his character design is quite interesting, right? Because everything on him is a red flag, right? The way he looks, the way he speaks to you, the posture he takes when he's talking to you, like this, a little bit hunched over, really. Like this greedy look he has, even with his hands, and then the blood on his gauntlets. Everything tells you that he has something in his mind, like he wants to do something. He has a plan that is somewhat nefarious, maybe. And but the information he gives you, even though he's talking down on you, right? Like, you're dirt, but I'm helping you. It's kind of conflicting, right? So he gives you useful informations, but he's still the mystery, still a mystery, right? But we will see him later on. So let's first upgrade the flask over here, and now I want to do some errands. There are certain things that I like to do at the start of the game, but the first thing is not killing that sentinel. And this design is so interesting as well, right? We have a definitely very strong enemy over here that you want to avoid. If you're not really skilled, and I'm not that skilled at the game, especially not after not playing it like half a year. You want to avoid the sentinel at the beginning. And so the game is basically teaching you that you can decide your own difficulty, basically. Do you want to brute force him? Like, do you want to progress the game once this obstacle is gone? Like, once you've beaten them? Or do you want to count back later and kill him later? This is something that the game wants to teach you here, I think. But it can also backfire, because when I've played with a friend of mine, like it was their first playthrough, and we did a co-op playthrough with the Seamless Co-op mod. Of course, their first instinct was to fight them. And, well, ended fairly poorly, and then he decided we go in a different direction. I'm not spoiling stuff for them, right? So we went in a completely different direction, and we avoided this part of the game or at least this part, and for a fairly long time. So we haven't had the option to upgrade our weapons over here.
But I can also see that you're
Oh,
not
sorry
after
for
my
skipping.
throat. Then why not purchase a little something? I am Kale, purveyor of fine goods.
So here we have Merchant Kale, and he is different looking, right? He's not really looking like a human. I mean, he is, but he's also not really. Like he has a different, how do I say, a different look to him. He looks much thinner than the player character, much taller. His silhouette is completely different. He has yellow eyes, which, well, to us is unnormal. Our eyes are not yellow. And he has this sickly looking green grayish skin, really. But let's talk to him. Let's keep talking to him.
I am of a nomadic people, selling wares as I travel. The land has been tainted by madness since the shattering of the Elden Ring.
Madness.
It's only tarnished like
Indeed.
yourself, who keep things from drying up entirely. Let's say you're a very welcome customer. You know, if you can spare the runes, you should buy yourself a crafting kit. A crafting kit allows you to make basic items on your own. Essential, really, if you intend to survive out here for any duration. The kit costs a bundle, and I admit I do take my cut. But the important thing is that you survive. Every customer counts, after all. You know, if you
Oh, okay. That's the same stuff.
The kit costs are the
Alright, crafting kit. Where is it? 300, not really much. He isn't really taking his cut, but let's buy it. I also want to buy the first torch. There are some things that are somewhat interesting. They can definitely help you. These are basically tutorials right now. Waypoint Ruins and Flask of Wondrous Physic. These are part of a tutorial in my opinion. And you can buy help. You can buy these, and then in the help menu thingy you can read them and gain the information. Very useful.
I'm glad you took my warning to heart. You've made an excellent choice.
So, crafting. And look at the donkey, isn't it cute? It's a donkey, right? Like, this is not supposed to be a horse, is it? It's a donkey. Yeah. Or maybe a special breed of horse, but it's a donkey. So, now we have the... Why was I sitting there? Now we have the option to craft stuff. And if we want to craft more, we need to find recipes.
Well, you're...
Do you have recipes? Yeah, he has 3 recipes right here that we can buy. The Nomadic Warriors Cookbook 1, 2 the Missionaries Cookbook. Yeah, and they widen our crafting choices basically. Fire pots are something special. You can see there in the middle column, cracked pots 0 out of 0. We need cracked pots for that, and we could have chosen a cracked pot as our starting gift. I chose not to take it. But there's basically, let's say you have 20 cracked pots, you can craft with those theoretically, and we have 20 mushrooms and 20 smoldering butterflies, 20 fire pots, and when you throw a fire pot, you're getting the cracked pot back. But of course not the mushroom and not the smoldering butterfly. So these are basically containers. I think they're called in this game even containers that you are using to, well, I don't really know why they done this. They want to, I mean, I know why they've done this, but the intention behind that is, I don't really like the restriction. I usually don't like restrictions. So, of course, they limit the amount of throwables you can have, at least powerful throwables, but because some of them, maybe not the fire pods, but some of them are really powerful later on. And during the character creation I forgot to talk about something. Something that I personally would like to see changed, but I guess they don't want to change that because it's still in the game. You can choose different character templates, as you've seen. Like, I chose the Confessor, or you can choose different backgrounds, and they all have different stats, right? They are different levels. I think it ranges from level 1 to level 9, or maybe, no, level 10. The Confessor is, oh yeah, level 10. The Confessor starts with level 10. So, but they still all have the same, like, with level 1 you have 80 skill points already allocated. And the Confessor, having more levels, is of course at, I think, 89. Yeah, when you have 80 skill points allocated at level 1, and you have 9 more at level 10, of course. So I kind of wish you could create your own quote-unquote background, where you can allocate these stat points in your, well, during the character creation. Maybe with a limit, you can't put less than 5 points into a stat, and of course you can't put more than, let's say, 16 points into one stat. I think 16 is the highest stat that a player can have. Like the cleric dude, I don't know how it's called, the prophet, right, has 16 faith, the mage or the astrologer has 16 intelligence, then the warrior has 16 dexterity, and the hero has 16 strength. So 16 is the maximum there. And of course, imagine you could just put in like all your points, like your 80 points, into one stat at the beginning. You just have maximum intelligence or stuff like this. Of course, this is bad, but maybe define a minimum and a maximum, like 5 and 16 would be nice or something, or even 1 and 16, so that you can allocate them however you want. Because I really like to choose certain I really like to choose certain gear, right? I personally am not the type of person who likes to pick the background for a lore reason or a role-playing reason. I'm not playing the Confessor because I like the idea of being a Confessor, right? I picked the Confessor because the stats worked best for the build that I have in mind, or I really like the gear, something like this, right? There's not the reason of I really like the Confessor as a idea. And okay, he's turning around. This duo. No. Luckily we can crouch, because he's the only one who can alert the whole camp here. He has the horn. Trying to... where is he right now? He's there. Alright. I killed him over there. Oh, I can still backstab him over here. Because that knight over there, that's the hard part about this camp. That dude over there with the big shield and the partisan. I think it's a partisan, right? Yeah, must be. That one is the tricky part. And I don't even know why I'm clearing this camp. I really like to do stuff like these. Like, it's kind of fun. I really have fun playing around in low-level areas. Just because it's not as punishing as certain late-game areas. And starting something new always feels great, right? Like, starting a new playthrough and certain things, right? Because you really are, if you're not forcing, if you really want to do it, like, it's still fresh, you're motivated and stuff like this, and you're still doing something new. But once you've played for like 50 hours on the same character, especially if it's not your first playthrough anymore, at least for me, I want to do something different. Like the last bit of a playthrough is always a little bit dragging itself, at least for me. But it really depends on the mood, I guess, and on the person. So let's keep just going. Grab all the items. Is it already getting... like, where's the map? It's already getting dark. Well, it doesn't really matter, because once we rest at the next side of Grace, it's... or... I don't know if... what sides of Grace are triggering the event with Melina, but these two, the one over there and this one, are definitely triggering the event, but they will turn the time of day to nighttime, always. Huh? He saw me? But not really. Okay, he saw something, but... and now he's investigating. Which is a awesome mechanic. I really like this mechanic. They've played around with it in Sekiro. Like, this mechanic is coming from Sekiro, clearly. Maybe in a somewhat different style, but there's no doubt this comes from Sekiro. This one is going away, so I can backstab this dude. And I really like this addition to the Souls franchise. Unlucky. Got the gauntlets again. But lucky me, I got the smithing stone, which is great. So let's just bomb rush this wolf. Somehow they can coexist with wolves. Awesome feat, to be honest. So, can you attack the shield? Thank you. I really don't like the immunity they have during certain things. So, because it might go south from here on out, because I'm trying to kill that soldier over there. I'm grabbing this first, and I could have used Assassin's Approach, really. I might do it right now. Let's just use it. This way, I should be silent. Actually, let's wait for him to turn around again. I don't know where he is. I could have backstabbed him right here. I wasn't sure how far he would go into the camp. I think I need to recast the spell. I have no real experience with the spell. It's already gone. And I don't know if it's a silent spell or not. Great. He turns around at this position. He can guard break fairly easy. Unlucky. Alright. That should be a backstab. Even though he tried to jump away. Triple poke, I can't block that. Oof. Come on. Yeah, really good choice to do the... That should be a wake up. Yeah, nice. Charging again. Ah. Come on. They've tried to give them moves which covers their... or which should counter the circle around them and backstab them move, but it's still possible, it's still very easy, and I'm glad that it is. But, well, if you've played Dark Souls 1 and 3, not 3, 1 and 2, there, in these games it was really easy to just circle around the enemies and then backstab them, especially in Dark Souls 1. Well, in Dark Souls 2 they introduced the bullshit mechanic where they would just spin on the spot, which is bad. And in Dark Souls 3 they really tried to give them punishing moves where they would just, in the case of this one, where they would just hit to the side with their shield and stuff like this. So let's just meet Melina over here. Always takes so long.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina.
All right. Very formal. Very serious.
I offer you an accord. Have you heard of the Finger Maidens? They serve the two fingers, offering guidance and aid to the tarnished.
Raining again. Ugh.
But you, I am afraid,
Look at the shadow. That's silly.
I can play the role of maiden, turning runes into strength to aid you in your search for the Elden Ring. You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd Tree.
Yeah, let's do it. I want to be able to level up.
Summon me by grace.
Yeah.
To turn runes into strength.
Luckily, we don't need to do that every time.
Another matter. I bequeath to you this ring. Use it to traverse great distances. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent. Torrent has chosen you. Treat him with respect.
Alright, a lot to talk about here. Not really about her design. But have you ever seen a game that gets hair right? Like where the hair really looks good? Where they had the reveal where she like put away her hood. I was like, the eye looks really good, like the details of the eye looked really good. The face was fine as well, like the detail and the realism of the face and stuff like this was of course stylized, but looked very good. And then the hair always looks bad compared to the rest. Of course the hair doesn't look bad, but compared to the rest it always looks bad. Which is, I guess hair is very hard to get right. It stops raining right now. I wanted to comment about what is happening with the... Eh? What? That is so strange. That is so strange. I really like that they have a day and night cycle, but it looked so weird when we just when we talked to Melina. The shadow all of the sudden like swoosh, all of the sudden everything is in shadow, and now the shadow just went back where it came from. But oh boy, the moon looks great. The game really looks great if you're not looking too close. Like for example the Earth tree, right? If you look at the Earth tree like this, it looks great. But if you're looking close enough, it really looks ugly as fuck. Like these green parts, I don't like these green parts. The leafage, like the leaves in there, they look, or at least these far away leaves, they look really low detail and smushed. And I don't feel I don't really like the green in there. I wish it was all golden. Like the minor earth trees look much better, but they're also very close, like they're closer compared to the other ones, so I get it. Let's put Torrent in here. This is my standard spot for Torrent. And let's talk about rain a little bit. Actually, do I teleport back or... Let's talk about rain later on. Here we go.
This way, Tarnished. May I have a word?
So this encounter over here, if you see the fog over here, and if we have a look at Kale, he is sleeping, and also his donkey is sleeping, while we are awake. And this is of course a spell she's doing, but let's talk to her.
A pleasure to meet thee, Tarnished. I am the witch Renna. I'd heard tell of a Tarnished hurtling about atop a spectral steed, and upon looking into the matter, the talk I surmise is of thee. Thou art possessed of the power, no? To call forth a spectral steed named Torrent. Ah, as I had hoped, I was entrusted this for thee by Torrent's former master. 'Tis a bell for calling forth spirits. Summon them with it. From ash and return to the Earth tree, the spirits will obey thine command but briefly, as they recall battles past. Now it is thine, to do with as thou wishest.
Man, this swollen English is really... I kinda like it.
Forgive mine intrusion, Tarnished. I doubt we shall again meet. But all the same, learn well the lands between. How long will it be, I wonder, before the Tarnished tire of obeisance to the two fingers?
And she's gonna... Let's have a look at... Ah, he's waking up. Ah, I was too slow. You can actually see him waking up. Let's talk to him.
Wait, weren't you... Well, you're back. Care to buy something?
So, do I want to buy something? Maybe the crackpots, although it's not as useful to me, I think. Eventually I will buy everything, so let's just do it. And maybe the telescope, even though it's not really useful, but I guess it's quite nice to point out things, so, well, it is useful. I can talk to Melina over here. First of all, let's turn it back to daytime, because I really don't like the bats and the screaming crucified people here that happen at night. Okay, let's talk to Melina and then let's talk about rain. So much to do in the early game.
This tiny golden aura is the grace of the Earth tree.
Yes, I know.
This light once shone in the eyes of your tarnished brethren, but now it is all that guides you. Also, I hear you can see them, can't you? The rays of grace that guide you through your burden.
Yes.
Upon the cliff, in Castle Stormvale, is a shard bearer, a demigod, who inherited a fragment of the shattered Elden Ring. If the rays of grace signal the castle, then the Elden Ring beckons you. As an ally by pact, I pray that you are fit to face the challenge presented by the ring.
Is there more?
Upon the cliff,
No, okay.
if the rays and the Elden, as an ally, pray to face the...
I guess I could have seen that by the yellow circle that was there. Alright, I think I can finally talk about rain. Finally. I kind of wish the rain effect... I was saying, like, why was it night again? I kind of wish the rain effect in these games would have been stronger. Is this the right button? Yeah, it is, I guess. Like, more rain, heavier rain, like really a downpour. Because rain in most video games, at least the games that I've played, would always looks like it's raining just a tiny bit, and then it doesn't really match the sound it makes. You have the sound of a really heavy downpour, and then just a few drops here and there. And I really like rain, like, especially in video games, especially when I'm not outside. I really like rain because it sounds soothing, right? It gives a cool atmosphere, and I kind of wish they could replicate it better, but I guess it's draining, or it would drain a lot of power. Let's find another NPC.
You there? Could you help us out, Cully?
I don't know the term Kali, but I guess it's something like buddy. So this is interesting, right? This is well made. First, yeah, fuck off, please. Yeah, fuck off for a second. I want to talk about this design of this encounter over here. Because we see something unusual over here. Like, we are most likely riding alongside this path over here, right? Then we have this thingy here, the telescope, the sky telescope, that is quite useless, to be honest. And then also on the left side we see the...
Why won't anyone look me in the eye? I'm not that ugly, am I?
Okay. And then we see the item that we can pick up, even though it's just an arterial leaf, but... And then there is this bush that looks nothing like the other bushes, so... And of course the NPC that all the time wants to get our attention.
Oi! What'd you go and do that for? Oh yes, I remember. Some clod turned me into a tree. You were just breaking the spell, weren't you? Thank you. The name's Bok. I was pushed out of the cave. Told not to come back. Not ever. Then I ended up as a tree. Lucky you came along, really. Oh, what a shame. When they threw me out of the cave, they took everything I owned. And so this is all I have to express my thanks. I hope you can forgive me.
Where was he pulling these mushrooms out of? Well, never mind.
Well, if you can afford to wait for a while, I could sneak back into the cave and bring back something of actual value. Well, then I'd be of some real use to you, I reckon.
Like, these conversations are so weird, right? First of all, you can't talk back. Like, sometimes you have one or two decisions, like yes and no, or do this and do that, like, but it's not like a conversation in like in other games, right? Your character is silent. You can't, well, you can choose a voice, but it's only for grunts and stuff like this and screams. I kind of wish they would explore more the idea of your character actually talking, maybe with much more like much more interaction between your character and the NPC.
Right, but I'll need a moment. I'm frightened of them, so I have to gather myself. My knees start knocking, just thinking about that god-awful cave on the shore.
Alright, Bok, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, I'd rather not say. Honestly, I don't really like Bok. Not really a fan of his character. He's quite the useless character. I mean, he has a somewhat compelling story, but like the thing that he offers is not really useful at all. And it's not really that detailed. Like, I wish it was more detailed. So, like, later on he can change the gear that we are wearing, but it can most of the time only remove the cape, or the certain things look somewhat different. They're getting lighter, but they're losing defense. But it's really just for the optics. But there are only two options, which is like another half-baked feature. Why do I say half-baked? Because there are a lot of half-baked features in this game. Like, sneaking is a half-baked feature. It is in the game, but it's not... like, it works very well, but you can only use it at so many points in the game. Like, the levels are not really designed... Most of the levels are not really designed for you to sneak around. So... And of course, the system isn't as complex as, let's say, a Splinter Cell or something like this, right? Like, it's not as complex as these games. So how do I beat this? I guess by foot. Then another half-baked feature. I need to concentrate now, do I? Hurts very much. How do I beat these again? I can try and parry them, but I'm not with this shield. This isn't working either. Yeah. I guess staggering them is a good idea. Okay, when they fall off the horse, you can perform a step action over here. So where was I? Half-baked features. Sneaking, then the cosmetic thing is not really explored all that much. Dialogue options are not really a thing. Decisions in this game isn't really a thing. Like, there are minor decisions, but I wish there were more complex things, more decisions you could choose, more decisions that would really really matter or give completely different rewards that are useful. There are only a handful of things like these in the game, and most of the time it's really just the one thing. The game wants you to do the really only the one thing, really. Like, the others are rather bad. But right now I'm really talking in a very broad and not specific at all spectrum, but when we come to these things, I will point them out. So we need to stop this thing. Easy to do by just aggroing one of them and they will stand still. And then we can acquire... Holy shit, the shift and the color shift right now. Now we can grab the great axe quick before the Cadence Sellsword, I think they're called, finds me again. I really don't want to fight them again right now. I've lost the insight on how to fight them. I need to relearn it. Other half-baked features. Dialogue options, sneaking, customization, magic really. Like the magic in this game and in the previous games is honestly very dull. Especially the magic, like the sorcery magic is very one-sided. It's basically all damage spells. Like with some exceptions, but not as many exceptions that I would hope they had. And of course all of these things are fairly negative, but it's still a great game, right? It's still an awesome game. And I'm not hating at this game at all, but what many people don't understand when people are criticizing stuff, like, why do I criticize Elden Ring? It is because I really like Elden Ring. So if I wouldn't like Elden Ring, I would just, first of all, I wouldn't play it at all, like maybe one playthrough and then just never touch it again. Like, it was fun, but it's not my style and stuff like this, right? But I really like this game, so I personally want to make it better, right? I want to think of ways of making this game better, and this is why I'm pointing out the flaws, or the things where I personally see the flaws in. And this is something that many people don't get. When you criticize something, it either means one of two things. You really don't agree with that one, or you like it and when you want to make it better, right? Especially when you criticize a game. Like, why would I criticize a game if I don't like it? Like, if I wouldn't really like it, I wouldn't... what's it called? Like, I wouldn't bother with criticizing it. Like, why would I? I don't like it, right? Like, why would I use my time and energy to criticize something that I think is a bad product? So, well, but of course it's I guess it's tiresome to hear someone bitch every time, like all of the time. I'm not trying to make it feel like bitching, but I guess it can come off as that, and I guess I need to work on that. But well, I'm just human. So we're already at 1 hour. I think the first episode is a bit longer, like 1.5 hours or something like this. Wasn't there? Was I misremembering stuff? Well, it's on the next one, right? I'll get rid of this thing. It's not as high. Is it up there? How do I get there? I'm not dying when I fall down here, so... Come on. Skyrim horse energy. Yeah, Skyrim horse. Comment down below if you get that reference. This is a weird spot. You see the symbol on the left side, like the purple symbol? I can now summon my spirit wolves over here. But there's not really a reason to summon them. Yeah, this was the thing that I wanted to find. Torrent's controls could be better, to be honest, but well. Yeah, to the game, with the point of like half-baked features. It kind of feels like GTA to me. If you've played GTA, or if you haven't played GTA, it's like you can do a lot of stuff in that game, but from different genres. Like you can drive a car, it's a shooter, you can drive a car, right? And stuff like these. And it doesn't really do these things very well. Like, driving a car feels very meh, at least in my opinion, right? Like, you don't really have control over your car in this game. I mean, you do, but it's hard to describe it. It's not a racing game per se, right? It's not only racing game. Racing isn't really the major selling point of this game. Although the driving feels somewhat good, but it could be better. And then it has a shooter part, but the shooting itself isn't really. It doesn't feel that. It's not as detailed. It feels archaic, really, right? And then the character controls, like your character controls like a tank. So, but it's still a somewhat good game, right? But there are aspects in this game that aren't as detailed as you would want them to be. Yeah, okay, I can.
And celebrated repudiator of the false. Oh, Erdtree, grant me succor.
Yeah, I can have suck from. Alright. Let's shut this dude up.
Well, that's very kind, but no, the help is very much appreciated, even from a tarnished. Despite appearances, nobility is no prerequisite to serving the true order. You might have heard of me, Kenneth Height. Next in line is the rightful ruler of Limgrave, young Tarnished. I would have a boon of you. I want you to take back my fort. It lies to the south, beyond the Mistwood. A knight commander from Stormvale took it. A fool, and plumb mad to boot. Simply obsessed with blood. What are you waiting for? A kiss goodbye? My fort lies to the south, beyond the Mistwood. Take it back for me. Oh, I see. You wish to know the reward. Fret not. The great Kenneth Height is known for his considerable largesse. The celebrations will be lavish indeed upon the dawn of my fort's retrieval.
Yeah, Earthsteel dagger is really good, right?
Yes. Now, allow me to furnish you with a little advice.
Okay, yeah.
I would take great care to avoid Godric's tarnished hunts were I in your shoes. That depraved lot are obsessed with sacrificing tarnished like you for the sake of grafting. Honestly, Godric's nothing more than a jumped-up country bumpkin. Lord? Oh, don't make me laugh. First, he hid himself amongst the womenfolk to flee the capital, then hid from Radahn in that castle. Then he insulted Melania, lost to her in battle, only to lick her boots, rather than die like a man. Has he no shame, the big girl's blouse? And to think, he's the blood of Godfrey, last of the golden lineage. Though you almost wouldn't know it to look at him. I almost feel sorry for the chap the more I think of it.
I really like how he trash talks Godric. Like, when was that? There are some things that I've never like thought about that I'm thinking right now. Like, first of all, when was he fleeing from Radahn, and when did he get kicked in the arse by Melania? Like, it must have been before their battle, right? Before the battle of Radahn versus Melania in Caelid. So maybe it was during like Melania's crusade, where she went to, like where she went, I can't say it, where she went to Caelid, like on the way. And he talked about, there I see a missed opportunity. He talked about tarnished hunts, right? Like where Godric the Grafted was doing, like, or sent people out for, or to hunt for tarnished. I kind of see a missed opportunity in there where, similar to Bloodborne with the kidnapped dudes, that if you would die to one of these tarnished hunts, maybe the patrol at certain times of the day, through Limgrave or something, when you die to them, they would abduct you and you will end up in Stormvale Castle. Wouldn't that be awesome? Like in the butcher room with the grafted scion right in the middle. I think that would have been awesome. Similar to the abduction with the abductor virgin thingies. I guess they already have it in the game in this part, but maybe there are more than just one abduction, right? So let's get over to this place. Third Church of America. Grab the Crimson Crystal Tear and the Flask of Wondrous Physic. And let's grab the Sacred Tear over here. Rest at the side of Grace. And allocate the Flask. Or allocate, buff the Flask. And then put this in here. And let's talk to Melania. Melina, sorry. That's not Melania. Blade of Mikola.
Me? I'm searching for my purpose.
Who asked?
Given to me by my mother inside the Earth Tree. Long ago. For the reason that I yet live. Burned and bodiless. There is something for which I must apologize. I've acted the Finger Maiden, yet can offer no guidance. I am no maiden. My purpose was long ago lost. Spoken echoes linger here, words of Queen Marika, who vanished long ago. If you wish, I will share them with you.
Yeah, why not?
Very well. In Marika's own words, my lord, and thy warriors, I divest each of thee of thy grace. With thine eyes dimmed, ye will be driven from the lands between. Ye will wage war in a land afar, where ye will live and die. Well, perhaps that might serve you in lieu of a maiden's guidance.
Much to unpack here. Like, a lot of lore. A lot of lore stuff here to learn about. I really wonder if they decide to explore the idea or explore the Gloomite Queen a little bit more. Because, well, if you've seen a lot of lore videos, Melina might be a good candidate for that department. She might be the Gloomite Queen, or maybe not. A lot of things speaking for it, but of course no hard evidence for that. Never knew there was a crab. Is there something of value over here? I think there is an item somewhere. Is it another crab? I usually never pick this item up that is somewhere over here. If there is an item. There's another crab. Would have thought. Oh, this one is already coming. Ugh. Alright. Not the other one. Actually, can't they hurt each other? Not really sure. Crab 101, you don't want to stand on the side of them. If they do their water attack, you can punish them for that. Slam, just roll backwards. Punish them for that as well. Grab, wait until they grab, roll out of the way, punish them for that, and they're dead. Exactly the same enemy as in Dark Souls 3. Nothing has changed, maybe the skin and some special attacks later on crabs will have, but alright, you can also block most of the attacks. This one you can't block, you have to dodge it. because I think blunt weapons should be very good here. Of course, you can also break their posture or their voice, whatever. I broke their... Oh yeah, there's indeed an item over here. Yeah. No wonder I never picked this one up. No wonder I knew of this item. Such a minor item. Yeah, but crab's really easy to beat once you know how to. And most of the time you want to kill them or get out of their aggro range because, well, they can run for quite a bit and they're quite annoying when they're chasing. Usually you can pick this item up without the rune bear triggering. Just don't get too close to it and you will be fine. Over there we can go into the underground. I'm not doing that right now. I'm going here mainly to pick up this item over here. Come on. The ground slam, and where's the... There. There's the earth tree, the minor earth tree. And to pick up this crystal tear over here, or these two crystal tears. Spiked cracked tear, don't know what it does. But the green one increases your stamina regeneration. Over here we can hear a wolf howling. Very mysterious indeed. You can actually see them standing up there. The living berserk reference, I guess. Over there is Blythe. I will explore this area later on in more detail. Right now I just wanna grab a few things, especially the side of Grace over here. Nice message leading to the merchant, but I don't think the merchant has something of interest to me right now. At some point I will definitely buy their stuff. And how much time do I have? Until 12 minutes or so. Probably like 15 minutes until the 1.5 hour mark. I think for our last, or for my last action, I will try and conquer this place, the Fort Height. Just because I want to. Don't stand here for too long. And now be careful. You can actually... Could you always summon your... when your spirit summons over here? Or did they add this at some point? I really can't remember. I really don't like the fact that you can... that they're immune during their wake up. Alright. Nice. I needed that distraction. Alright. This is just a demi-human over there, but this one will come soon enough. He's trying to backstab me at some point. Let's get rid of this. Oh, there's another one. Okay, I need to be quick with this one before the mad pumpkin head. Oh, he's waiting for me. How nice. Alright, mad pumpkin head. Why isn't he getting down here? I really wonder what the standard is doing, or the spear with the piece of cloth on there. These mad pumpkin heads, they're really annoying because a character tends to hit the head when the head is down. And of course that's an area that is armored. I'm too greedy right now. Do I summon them? Oh, this works. Great. Should have upgraded my weapon, I think. At least 2+1. It's the maximum I can do right now. Nice. But I'll manage. Let's use urgent here. Not really as urgent as I would think. Like, it's still quite the long casting time. So right here, how many do I have? I have 3. I can craft just 1. Let's see if I can use them in... Oh, I have cookeries, that's nice. Well, let's just put them in the bar. And see, because down here are rats. And I think... Oh yeah, they're rats. And they will throw fire bombs at me, so... Ooh, that was quite far. Can throw as well. That was too far. Alright, let's see. Yeah, nice. Oh, another rat. Let's just bomb rush this one. Alright. Alright. There's another one. Ugh. How annoying. It shouldn't reach me there. Stop throwing firebombs at me. Yeah. Alright. Kinda wish you could stab these rats. Like you could jump and stab the geckos in... What's it called? In Sekiro? Wasn't there? No, there's no chest in here. In one of my earlier videos I was talking about this place when I still had locations to analyze or to talk about their design. And this went kind of poorly, this area here. Are you sitting down? Are you disrespecting me? Yeah. The ones with the swords are usually easier than the ones with the... What's this? Ah, nice. Usually the ones with the swords are easier to fight than the ones with the spear. Because you can... They're much easier to backstab constantly. Wait a little bit and then punish them. Was a bit late, but it still worked out. Even this is working. Nice. Now I got Bloody Slash over here and a Blood Rose, and I can climb this nonsensical tower in here. Where do I get the small lantern from? What merchant? I know the one in the on the Weeping Peninsula, the one on the beach. I think is selling the one. I don't know if you can buy more than one. Get the Dectus medallion, the left side. At this point we don't know what it does. We could read the item description, but I'm not doing it right now. Not going to read it. Don't care right now. Could you really summon your spirits in here? Like, isn't this a new feature? I can't remember this feature. Like, where can I... Why can I drag them to? I wonder. And why are they not despawning? Can I drag them up there? I'm kinda curious now. I'm kinda curious now. Where can I drag them to? They're actually following, nice. So you could even make this area even easier than before. And I almost forgot the smithing stone. Thank you. Alright. That's just silly. Ah, alright. Okay, they teleport after you at some point. Lucky me. How could they glitch through the ground here? Can you do that again? One of you at least. Interesting. But why aren't they shouldn't they despawn once there is no enemy to fight? Well, I guess I summoned them afterwards, so it's not happening. I really don't know. I really don't know. So, Kenneth hide. Do I have this? Okay. Do I have the Side of Grace over here? I do. Nice. So let's just go there and rub things up. Get the Earthsteel dagger. There are bats again. I really don't like bats. I have a problem with fighting bats because, like, I have a problem with every flying enemy in this game. Because they tend to have no shadow underneath them. Like a spot on the ground that indicates where they are, and it's sometimes hard to see how far they're away from you. Let me quickly grab this. Magic grease. They won't follow me up here. No, they will. Yeah. Why not just do this right now? I mean, why would I summon them here? Doesn't matter. Not really difficult spot. These demi-humans are not really a threat, even in masses. They're not really that strong to begin with. They're agile, that's for sure. Alright, can I fight? I've conquered your...
I've been waiting for you with bated breath. Did you manage to recapture my fort? Oh, excellent news.
Yes.
Just wonderful. And the knight's dead to boot. Well done, my friend. Well done indeed. I knew I was right to trust you.
Yeah,
Now,
about that.
here's your reward, as promised. Go ahead. It's all yours.
It's all yours. That one thing.
Right then. Time for me to head to the fort. I've much to do. First, I'll have to re-establish communication with the demi-humans. What's that look? You don't believe
Yes.
me? Well, under the Earth Tree, commingling with the demi-humans is made possible. Even the vulgar shall not be left behind, under the rule of true order. Which is why I, Kenneth Height, next in line as the rightful ruler of Limgrave, have sworn to uphold it. Just you watch, my friend. Just you watch.
So they tolerate demi-humans, but they're not tolerating Tarnished, eh?
Ah, yes. I've been meaning to ask. Would you like to enter my service? I see bright things in your future, stout warrior. Enter into my service and learn the workings of the Erdtree's true order. And who knows? Perhaps sometime down the line, the grace of gold will return to those tarnished eyes of yours. What say you? A fine accord, is it not?
Why do they always want to give me an accord? I don't want a car.
Very well indeed. I knew I saw something in you. I shall await you at my fort. We shall hold a ceremony for your knighting there, I think. I see great things ahead of us. We are truly by the Erdtree blessed.
Yeah, whatever. I wish this, what's it called? This quest line would actually lead to something. Like, to something more than it does right now. Because right now it really, like, it has a good ending. Not... oh. I'm dying to demi-humans, am I? No, I'm not. Well, if you're getting cornered by 3 of them, it might be a bit hard. Nice work, boys. Oh, there's one more. And another one. How many are here? Holy shit. I wonder why their eyes are glowing at night. Looks kinda weird. I kinda wish the questline would lead to more than it does right now. I wish there would be more to do for the player. At least they've patched in the second part of the quest line at some point. It's kind of weird, right? Like, it kind of feels bad if they patch in quest lines at some point. Like, you remember when they patched in the quest line with Nefelilu, like this one, when they quote-unquote finished it later on with Jarberg, because when you've played through the game, then you sometimes can't do the quest lines anymore. And you basically have to play through the game once again. I reckon that feels really bad to know that you haven't done everything in the game, at least for me. Let's turn it daytime and let's wrap things up. First episode right now, more to come. I think I'm aiming at 1 to 1.5 hours, something in between there. Sometimes it might be a little bit shorter, sometimes it might be a little bit longer, but I really want to play through this game right now. I'm going to upload this more frequently, first of all because I know what to do right now, and second of all, well, I really want to play through the game again. And I don't want to wait for too long, but I only really have some time at night right now, like not night but evening tonight, so well, why do I want to close it like this? Outro now. Yeah, if you like what you see, leave a like, or don't. Actually, I do care. Write down a comment, even something meaningless like okay or first is helpful to the channel. Yes, even the first comments that you see under many videos is still a comment and it's still useful, so why not write first? And I see you hopefully in the next episode. Goodbye.